The hidden power Allah placed inside you, Yusuf, Alayhissalom, forgotten secret. Don't scroll, because what you're about to hear might be the reminder your soul has been waiting for. You've been carrying something powerful inside you all along, something Allah Himself placed within you before you were even born. But most people forget it. Yusuf, Alayhissalam, never did. It's the power that turned his pain into patience, his patience into wisdom, and his wisdom into destiny. That hidden power is not strength, it's surrender. The ability to trust Allah when every reason tells you not to. When Yusuf was betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a well, and sold into slavery, he had nothing, no wealth, no freedom, no help. But he still had that power. He whispered, "Indeed, my Lord is with me." That wasn't weakness. That was the moment his divine strength awakened. You see, Allah places inside every soul a light, a force that cannot be broken, no matter how much the world tries. But it only awakens when everything else is stripped away. Ibn Arabi said, "When the servant loses all that is not Allah, he gains all that Allah is." That's what Yusuf lived. Every loss was a revelation. Every heartbreak uncovered another layer of that divine spark inside him. The more he was forgotten by people, the more he was remembered by Allah. That's the forgotten secret. Your deepest power doesn't come from what you control, it comes from what you surrender. And that same light lives inside you. It's the reason you've survived things that should have destroyed you. The reason you keep getting back up when you don't even know why. That's not luck, that's divine resilience. Allah placed it there so that even when your world collapses, your faith doesn't. That's the secret Yusuf, Alayhissalam, carried, the power most people overlook, the ability to turn pain into purpose, fear into faith, and silence into strength. Because when you remember that Allah is with you, even in the well, you stop being afraid of falling. And when you begin to live with that awareness, that there is a divine power breathing inside you, everything starts to change. You stop seeing weakness as failure and start seeing it as the doorway to Allah's strength. That's what Yusuf, Alayhissalam, understood. When he was alone in the well, he wasn't asking, "Why me?" He was whispering, "Ya Allah, if this is where you've written me to be, then show me what you want me to learn." And that's when his hidden power awakened fully. Ibn Arabi said, "Within every servant lies a reflection of Allah's strength. It appears only when all illusion of control disappears." That's the secret Yusuf carried through every trial. When people turned their backs, Allah turned His face toward him. When the world silenced His name, Allah wrote it into history. That's what happens when you stop fighting what's happening and start trusting who's behind it. This hidden power inside you isn't loud, it's quiet. It shows up in your patience when others would have given up. It shows up in your hope when the future looks empty. It shows up in the way your heart still whispers Alhamdulillah even when everything hurts. That is divine strength, not the power to control life, but the power to stay soft through it. Yusuf didn't win because he was the strongest, he won because he never stopped believing that Allah was guiding even the hardest parts. And that's what Allah placed in you. The same light. The same resilience. The same ability to rise after every fall. You were never meant to break, you were meant to be shaped. Every loss you've endured, every tear you've shed, every prayer that went unanswered, it was all chiseling away at your ego to reveal what was buried beneath it, your soul's hidden connection to its creator. That's the power most forget, but it's the one thing that can never be taken from you. And as that realization sinks deeper into your heart, you begin to see your entire life differently. The pain you once cursed becomes sacred. The delays that frustrated you start to make sense. You realize Allah was never punishing you, He was preparing you. Yusuf, Alayhissalam, didn't see his suffering as the end. He saw it as the beginning of something divine. Every rejection, every loss, every dark night was secretly building him for the moment when Allah would say, "We have raised you in rank." Ibn Arabi said, "The light within a believer is hidden under the dust of trials, and each hardship wipes away a layer until the soul begins to shine." That's exactly what happened to Yusuf. The well cleaned his heart of pride. The prison polished his faith. The betrayal purified his trust. And when all that remained was surrender, Allah opened every door that was once closed. That's how divine power works. It doesn't make life easier, it makes your heart unbreakable. And you carry that same light. It's why you still feel a flicker of peace even in your worst moments. It's why, no matter how heavy life gets, something inside whispers, "Keep going." That's not your voice, that's the echo of your soul remembering its source. You see, the secret isn't that Yusuf had a gift you don't, it's that he used the one you've been ignoring. The hidden power Allah placed inside you isn't in your mind, your hands, or your voice, it's in your surrender. When you stop resisting your destiny and start trusting it, you'll feel that power awaken. You'll notice calm where there used to be chaos, faith where there used to be fear. The world may still test you, but nothing will move you the same way again, because you've remembered who stands with you. And when you remember that, even the deepest well becomes a place of peace. That's the forgotten secret Yusuf, Alayhissalom, lived, and it's still waiting inside you, ready to rise the moment you finally let Allah lead. And when you finally let Allah lead, the entire rhythm of your life begins to change. You stop rushing what's meant to unfold and start trusting the divine timing behind every moment. You realize that the reason Allah kept you waiting, the reason He allowed the storms, the reason He took certain things away, was to awaken that power within you that only pain could reach. Yusuf, Alayhissalam, didn't find strength when everything went right, he found it when everything fell apart. Because only when your hands are empty can you truly hold on to Allah. Ibn Arabi said, "The heart of a believer is like a mirror, Allah cleans it with trials until it reflects only Him." And that's what your hardships have been doing all along. Every heartbreak wasn't a failure, it was polish. Every disappointment wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Every silence from Allah wasn't absence, it was preparation. Because the hidden power He placed in you only awakens when you learn to stand still in faith. That's what Yusuf did. He didn't fight his destiny, he flowed with it. In the well, he trusted. In the prison, he trusted. Even when forgotten, he trusted. And that trust turned into light, a light so powerful that when he finally walked out of darkness, even kings bowed before him. That's not a story about rank, that's a story about resilience. About how a heart that refuses to break becomes the strongest vessel of divine will. And that same strength lives inside you right now. It's the quiet patience when everything feels uncertain. The tears you wipe in silence but still whisper Alhamdulillah. The moments you want to give up but still say, Ya Allah, I trust you. That's the hidden weapon Allah gave you, the power to endure, to rise, to glow even in the dark. When you finally understand that, nothing the world takes from you can make you poor again, because the real treasure has been within you from the very start. And once you realize that treasure has always been within you, you stop begging the world for things only Allah can give. You stop chasing validation, approval, or control, because you've discovered something greater, contentment. The kind Yusuf, Alayhissalam, carried through betrayal, slavery, and prison. The kind that cannot be shaken by what happens outside, because it lives in the space between your heart and Allah. That is the hidden power every soul has but most forget to use. Ibn Arabi said, "The true servant no longer asks for the world to change, he changes the way he sees it." And that's what happens when divine strength awakens inside you. You begin to see beauty in places you once saw pain. You start thanking Allah for what He took away, because now you understand He was protecting you from things you didn't need. You look back at moments that broke you and whisper, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have found Him. That's when life transforms. You stop living in fear and start living in flow. When something is delayed, you don't panic, you smile, because you know Allah's timing is always better than your own. When something ends, you don't call it loss, you call it guidance. You become unshakable, not because life gets easier, but because your heart finally knows where to rest. And this is the forgotten secret Yusuf, Alayhissalom, carried, that the greatest miracle is not freedom, power, or wealth, it's inner peace born from absolute trust. The same peace he felt in the well is the peace you can feel right now. It's already inside you, waiting for you to stop doubting, stop fearing, and simply let it rise. So when life gets heavy again, remember this: Allah didn't create you to break. He created you to remember. To rediscover the divine power He placed in your soul before the world ever touched you. And when you finally awaken it, you'll see what Yusuf saw, that every test was never meant to destroy you, but to reveal who you truly are, a soul lit by His light, unbreakable, unshaken, unstoppable. And when that divine light finally fills your heart, you start walking through life as Yusuf, Alayhissalom, once did, to calm in chaos, gentle in power, silent but unshakable. You no longer pray just to be rescued, you pray to be refined. You no longer ask, why me, but rather, what are you teaching me, Ya Allah? That shift, from questioning to trusting, is the moment when the hidden power inside you fully awakens. It's the moment when your soul stops fighting destiny and starts dancing with it. Ibn Arabi said, the soul that remembers its divine origin no longer fears the storm, because it knows it was born from light. And that's what you become, a being of light walking through a world of shadows. You start seeing every trial not as punishment, but as permission to rise, to grow, to return to who you were meant to be before fear, pride, and pain covered your essence. You stop clinging to the world, because your heart has found something greater: connection. That's why Yusuf could forgive his brothers with a smile. His peace wasn't built on revenge or justice, it was built on remembrance. He knew that Allah's plan had never missed its mark. And when you reach that same understanding, nothing in this world can shake you again. You forgive easily. You let go quickly. You breathe softer. Because you finally know everything happens for you, not to you. And that's the hidden secret buried deep in every believer's heart: you are not powerless. You were created with divine endurance, divine patience, divine trust. Allah placed His own reflection of mercy and strength within you, and life's trials are only mirrors showing you what was there all along. So the next time you stand in the dark, whisper to yourself, the same Lord who carried Yusuf through his well will carry me through mine. And in that moment, you'll feel it, the forgotten secret Yusuf lived by, that Allah's power was never somewhere far above you, it's been inside you, waiting for you to remember. And that's when you finally understand, the power you've been searching for was never something to be found, it was something to be remembered. It was placed inside you long before your first breath, written in the light of your soul when Allah said, I am with you. Yusuf, Alayhissalom, didn't become powerful because of what he gained, he became powerful because of what he realized, that Allah's strength had been carrying him through every fall, every loss, every silence. That's what turned the well into worship and the prison into purpose. Ibn Arabi said, the greatest discovery of the soul is not that Allah exists, it's that He has always been within you. And now you see it too. The patience that saved you, the hope that refused to die, the peace that came after every storm, none of it came from outside. It was Allah moving through your heart, reminding you that you were never alone. So when life tests you again, when everything feels uncertain, don't look for strength elsewhere. Place your hand on your chest and remember, the same light that guided Yusuf through his darkness lives within you. It never left. It can't. Because it's not borrowed, it's divine. And when you walk with that awareness, every hardship becomes holy, every delay becomes direction, every tear becomes prayer. You stop fearing what's ahead because you finally know what's inside, the hidden power Allah placed in you, the forgotten secret of Yusuf, Alayhissalom, that nothing in this world can defeat the one whose heart has remembered its creator.